I'm waiting for the beat to drop.
1.3 million views. Fuck off.
Why does it sound like? It's very like Arabic sounding sort of tune.
Arabic baby auto tune. There is no beat dropping.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hello,
And welcome to BB on Blast.
BB22.
Oh, I wish I'd looked for more Crybaby remixes.
No,
before
that
I
was
played
good.
That one.
That was good. We have just given birth to triplets. And
Now that's an all-star baby that can do a song like that.
that segment. No, we'll come to that. We'll come to it. I have some choice words about that segment.
Can you introduce yourself first?
So I am. Can you stop telling me what to do? I am Lindsay Rose, co-host of this fine podcast, BB on Blast.
And I'm Gaz at BB_superfan, and tonight we're having a drink.
We have not had a drink on the podcast for fucking ages.
No, it's not really been like a nighttime thing.
No, we've done afternoon podcasts, just squeezing it in. But today we're making a meal of it. We've got wine. We've got that's it really, just wine.
Mood lighting.
Yeah, we're at my house, so there may be some interruptions by Towie with a mouse, and we're ready to go. I've already had half a glass of wine and feel a bit tipsy, so God help us. 3 hours in.
You had one before this, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
No, what do you think take me for? Also, tonight we'll be exclusively watching the eviction episode. Who will go? Janelle or Kaysar? Boo! I'm going to be crying, you know, especially after all this wine.
Oh, God.
It's not going to be good. So, everything we say out to them will be purely speculative and probably wrong.
Yeah, we decided that we were really out of touch. We're out of touch.
We decided
we're out
that.
Of time. Yeah, so we were just recording at the wrong times, weren't we? So at least
that
now,
ain't why we're out of touch, man.
But at least now we're kind of like end the podcast in a logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Of, we know who was evicted.
Yeah, that's true. We'll know who's evicted, but we're still out of touch. But I have been listening. I've been cramming BB knowledge.
Yeah.
You have not.
No original content here.
Do you know how? Yeah, but do you know what? I do. I listen, so you don't have to.
Thanks.
Including listeners, because I listened to yesterday about 9 hours of Big Brother podcast.
Fucking hell.
I listened to them on double speed. No, I actually listened to them on 1.5 speed just to get this information to tell you. And how much information did I get?
How are Judy Girl
Fuck
doing?
all.
Are they recording?
I listened to Judy Girl today, and you know what? I listened to them on normal speed because I got respect for the Judy Girl name. They were good. They were just saying, because I listened to the one where they covered the same stuff we covered last week, just saying the same shit as us, basically. Oh, except Zach was being anti-Kaysar, which is very, very bad.
Oh, you can't be anti-Kaysar. I like Kaysar.
He was like, he didn't like the way when Ian said he was autistic. That Kaysar's like, yeah, I'm autistic too. It's like, let Ian have his moment.
Oh,
which
I don't remember Kaysar saying that.
Yeah, I can kind of, I see his point, but hey, come on. You're pro Kaysar. Well, get ready to kiss goodbye. Actually, I think it will be Janelle going. Don't you?
Of course it will be. I think that's a foregone conclusion.
Do you think Kaysar can blend into the background once Janelle go?
No. Well, the thing is, he's not really a threat on his own.
He's not.
So,
he's not even a threat with Janelle.
I suppose because they don't have the numbers. But I've really liked them as a duo. But it has sort of been framed as a love story. Do you know what I think? Like,
I've always wondered why it never was a love story.
Or flirtmance, at least. And then I'm like, how do their partners feel about this?
I've never thought they were flirty.
Oh, I'm sure I saw someone on Twitter say they must have fucked at one point.
It's interesting, because when me and Jack started watching the old seasons, he was like, is this going to be a showmance? And I was like, it never ever was a showmance. It never ever seemed to be about that. It always just seemed to be a respect thing.
Yeah, what I've also liked is the fact it's not a showmance. But like, I feel like they're so at ease with one another that it comes off as if they could be a couple.
Yeah.
But the fact that this male and female alliance working so closely together isn't a showmance, for me, who's never seen a US Big Brother where there weren't showmances, it's kind of refreshing. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe back in the day it was more interesting for that reason, that it wasn't just kind of a default, who's going to be my showmance, and that's how we're going to run the game. Could do it also platonically.
The interesting point, the interesting part about how it all started, back in my day, was Kaysar came into the house with Michael, who was his neighbour. Did I tell you this? Yeah, they were like in as pairs.
It's like you going on with Belkin.
And then, imagine. And then Janelle got off with Michael. Janelle had a relationship with Michael. Well, like just for a week because he got evicted first. But when Michael left, he said, "Stick with Kaysar."
That was quick work.
Yeah, I know. When Michael left, he said, "Stick with Kaysar." He said, "Put your trust in Kaysar." That was how it all began.
Oh, they said it all began over a chess game in the show.
Oh, yeah. But this was how it really began. So yeah, she had a showmance, and Kaysar was like her showmance's best friend.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite nice, really, because like your showmance went, but like the bro of the showmance was like, we'll stick together.
Yeah. That was how it really began back in the olden times.
These OG housemates.
Do you think though? Here's what I think about Janelle and Kaysar. They're too cliquey. They didn't build up any numbers very well. I
think they're too comfortable as well.
They just talk a big game. Oh yeah, we're the best. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that.
But also, do you not think that on Janelle's part, maybe it's believing your own hype? Because everyone was so excited about her going in, and I'm sure they've got to see what's going on Twitter. Like,
yeah.
There was rumblings about this for months, so I'm sure Janelle knew what was going on.
Janelle got all of her information from Twitter, apparently, in the house. She knew he was going in and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So why didn't she make a better pre-game alliance? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, what about the WhatsApp group?
She really fucked this up really, really bad. You go in, you're that big a player, and no one wants to work. You're known for your loyalty, and no one wants to work with you. That is not a good sign.
Oh.
I think they're just jealous of her. They're just jealous, just like my old school friends.
But has she won it? No, she hasn't won it.
She came third twice.
Spoiler. What I have enjoyed in the last few episodes is seeing Janelle openly come for Nicole Franzel, who she hates.
Oh my god!
And doing impressions of her in the diary room. And I've never really seen that level of pettiness in US Big Brother.
Oh, really?
Not really.
The Janelle's impression of Nicole was even worse than one of our impressions.
It was like, I'm so tired of her nasal voice.
Yeah, it was just awful. And it's a shame that you like Janelle and Kaysar now and one's going.
To be honest, like, I felt watching them, it's like watching a different calibre of person to what I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's, when I look at them, I'm like, I can tell why they're back.
Yeah.
Compared to all of the shit that we've had to put up with, like fucking Let's Go and
that
guy that ate the cereal. Like, why can't they find those people again?
Yeah.
And no wonder America is obsessed with doing All-Stars.
Yeah.
Because they can't find any good new people for some reason.
A different calibre of person is never a truer word spoken.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Ian as well.
Yeah, when you
stand like a normal
them
person
against the Tylers and the Baileys
Cody
and the Nicole A's, you're like, well, what are you even here for?
Yeah.
It is the OGs that are the most interesting people.
Yeah. Even Memphis, who is just a mess.
Memphis is definitely a stock image of a man. He's definitely plain as fuck.
But even though he's a mess, don't you find him kind of interesting to watch? Just because he kind of just is kamikaze.
What I do find interesting about him is something I picked up on in the last episode, was that I felt he was lying to us as well as the housemates.
Oh, he might have picked that up from Dan Giesling.
About throwing the comp.
Oh.
When they were all like, oh, why is he so terrible? He's like dropping these cupcakes left, right and centre.
Oh my God.
Then in the diary room, he said he wanted to win it.
Oh my God. Did he throw it then? Because I totally believe that.
I think he did.
Well, if he is lying to us as well as the housemates,
that's interesting.
I stand that. I stand Memphis. I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Get images for life.
I stock.
White man. He's going to come up. White mixologist.
Womanizer. Don't forget the womanizer. Oh, man.
So I'm kind of enjoying it, even though I haven't watched them before. And I do feel like Memphis coming for David being like, oh, you got to prove yourself, you're at the big boys table. It's almost kind of true.
I enjoy that.
It's an interesting dynamic to see old school people. And I bet for people like you who've been all the way through the Janelle and Kaysar journey, this is a really painful eviction.
It is painful, but do you know what? It's
the game.
It just feels inevitable. It has felt inevitable. The fact we've had them for 3 weeks has been good. And I would actually like. I don't really want to say. In a way, it would be interesting to see Kaysar play without Janelle, because that's what we've never seen.
Right.
Kaysar has always gone first because he's the supposed brains behind the operation,
Okay.
which he fucking isn't. He isn't. Janelle is the brains and the brawn.
Right.
Kaysar is just derailing the whole thing all the time by talking to people like a CEO. But in a way, it would be interesting to see, can Kaysar do anything if Janelle goes?
And she even said, I shouldn't have come in here.
When she said that, and he went, what? And he didn't understand what she meant. I thought that was one of the sweetest things I'd ever seen.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because he was just like, what? He couldn't understand her being so selfless, because she didn't say that with any agenda. She said it genuinely. I think that's what's different about them. They have a genuine relationship. In that house, how often do you see that?
Yeah.
Never. It's all fake.
Seeing that level of, not intimacy,
Trust?
that's not the right
like
word.
Trust, almost.
But like, when I watch Big Brother, because my biggest enjoyment out of it is watching people and watching relationships. That's what I enjoy about the show more than I do watching strategy and stuff. And that's why this version of Big Brother doesn't appeal to me as much as one, which is a public vote and it is just watching people. But I see moments in the montages of Kaysar and Janelle interacting, of like proper affection and tenderness between them. That sounds a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
But like mutual respect and stuff. And it's a different thing to watch than these like new people who haven't ever met each other and are solely focused on a game. Because in a way, I feel like Janelle and Kaysar's game is almost compromised by the fact that they are so close.
Yeah, it 100% is. It's completely stymied by it.
It's what?
It's
what? Stymied?
Stymied, yeah.
What's that? I need a definition.
Stuck.
Stymied?
Yeah, stymied.
How do you spell that?
STYMIED.
What's a new word?
See the look on my face as I said it. I was like, I'm using a long word.
It's become a spelling bee. Spelling bee on
we should
blast.
have a noise that you play when I do a long word.
Yeah. Is there a noise associated with the responsibilities reveal?
Oh, yeah.
Who was that?
Oh, yeah.
The
Shannon
actress.
Elizabeth.
Yes,
nice.
well done.
Nice callback. Well done. Yeah, you're totally right. That is what is... it has all become clear. That is exactly what is missing from BBUS. The relationships.
Yeah.
It's all just gang, numbers, competitions. Where are the bonds?
And people might say, oh, these British people are talking smack because there's always...
you people can shut up.
Because you don't understand, and we like strategy. And
fuck off.
And
go to Taryn.
If you're saying you want relationships, well, I'll give you relationships. Tyler and Angela, Swaggy and Bailey. Like, they'll say these are relationships, but they are not. They're the product of a showmance, which is ultimately driven by strategy. You'll never really see, correct me if I'm wrong, a Chantal and Preston style development of a love story in US Big Brother, because proximity to a person and trust is always based on the game more than it is feelings and just coincidental existence.
There was one actually, Jeff and Jordan, but
are they men?
No, Jordan, but he's the problematic guy who said about Dumbledore.
Oh, for fuck's
but they did have quite a pure, innocent relationship. I would say, not a pure game, obviously, but she was very innocent. But then
dirty game.
He likes to patronise it. But they're still together now. That was like an actual real love story. Oh, hold on, and Rachel and Brendan, shout out. I forgot about Rachel and Brendan.
Rachel, who came in
Rachel,
with
who's a fucking nutcase. Yeah, she's a nutcase. And Brendan, like, you would never have thought in a million years they would be together now with two kids. And they just had such a fiery, volatile relationship.
A bit like Bex and Luke then.
Yeah, and then he was caught on camera, like, wanking off to some transgender person. And she forgave him, so...
Not in the house?
No, outside. I've seen, a few years
like a
later.
webcam?
Yeah, a few years later, he was sort of caught out by this sort of scammer. I think it was a scammer. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Apart from that, it's a very romantic story.
Yeah, but that thing makes me feel uncomfortable, because you said caught out by a transgender person as if that person was tricking them.
No, I'm not saying they were tricking them about being transgender. I'm saying they were like a scammer. Like, they would basically got Brendan to get his dick out so they could put it online.
Okay.
Nothing to do with him being transgender.
That was just
a descriptor.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a